I'm sure that you have your own viewpoints and you do not agree with him on certain things. He said nobody is above the law, the same way the EFCC chair has said that there's no one above the law. But you think that that doesn't apply in this circumstance? Very important question. I agree with the EFCC chairman and my learned friend to the extent that nobody is above the law. But whether it is applicable in the given circumstances is another issue. Like I said earlier, the EFCC, their function, financial and economic crimes. The man that they were attempting to arrest stated he was not invited, like Chamberlain has said it, so there is no point for me to repeat. But in addition, he said that DSS, Department of State Services or State Security Service, were never involved in the procurement of arms meant to fight Boko Haram because they are matters that are militarized in nature. They have their own way of procuring arms for the purposes. But let's assume there is doubt. Who is to clear? There is in existence not just the service, but a director general. You compare notes. Secondly, whatever you're looking for in the former DSS boss, you were looking for it because you felt he acted not in his private capacity, but in his capacity as DG. So why are you avoiding the Department of State Services and you're trying to police a former chief of the service? Let me tell you something. The former chief of DSS or NIA, just like a retired general, is a national security asset, and they are protected for life. They don't even have life of their own. They are being guarded and controlled by the government. So nobody is above the law, but whether it is applicable here, it is not the issue, because national security matters are so important that even in the court of law, national security issue can be a ground for which a witness cannot be compelled to come to the court. And the territorial integrity of this country is fundamental. Now, these individuals report directly to the president. Every March of a given year, DSS make a representation to the president of all of the activities, including financial dealings. So let me get you right then. Are you saying then that if there is any financial impropriety, you know, alleged against this men, you know, how do they then get, you know, prosecuted, if at all they can be prosecuted? Very important question, and that is what I wanted to make reference to, the question that Chamberlain asked. If EFCC as a commission is to be investigated, who investigates the EFCC? Very important question. My response will be that these agencies are self-regulated. If there is a discrepancy in DSS, in the past administration of DSS, the present administration of DSS will investigate. But by an executive order, the president can issue a directive that anybody, police, DSS, NIA, whatever, to carry out investigation. That is the essence of executive power, without prejudice to the extant law and without prejudice to the functions of the executive arm of the government. In the case of EFCC, if EFCC is to be investigated, my view is that because EFCC is just a commission and it fights anti-corruption cases, it cannot investigate itself. In fact, I will make the case that the Department of State Services in the given circumstance can pursuant to the provisions of the National Intelligence Act step into the case and investigate. But in my view, because it is investigating a sister security agency, they need an order directly from the president so as to maintain professional courtesy. And what is happening is dangerous. I hold the view that EFCC is exercising enormous powers, and now they are exercising powers within the stretch of their limit when they begin to set their searchlight on the security agencies of the country. Definitely many layers to peel off and get to the core of it. But we have to thank you most kindly for coming on Sunrise Daily. Mr. Daniel Obwala is a legal practitioner and also a member of Lincoln's Inn in London. Sunrise Daily will continue in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Well, yes, but not before we end with Malaki. Malaki, give us your concluding thoughts on this one. So, do we now look to the president and say, Mr. President, what say you? Ultimately, the buck stops at his table. The embarrassment will endure for as long as he suffers indiscretion and refuses to act untimeously too. I believe that if you take away the legalese involved in all of this, you would see that there is a very embarrassing expose of the inability of the present government to effectively coordinate the affairs of governance, particularly when you have
at these levels of agencies of the same executive running amok and at cross purposes. It will therefore be in the interest of Mr. President to rise to the occasion, to realize that the signals already out there are demobilizing the people, because even for your fight against corruption, you need the buy-in of the people. Once the people are completely disenchanted with the processes and procedures adopted and the intra-agency rivalry, then you are halfway losing the matter. The fight against corruption requires the collaboration and the buy-in, like I said, of the people. When you refuse to do...
In addition to that,
yes.
In addition to that, what must we do now if the EFCC cannot investigate the SSS, the SSS cannot investigate the EFCC, the EFCC cannot investigate the NIA? So this is a tripartite cardinal points we're looking at. What must we do, or what must the presidency do in this situation?
Well, first is to condemn that we came to that stage where all of these are candidates for investigation. Because let's face it, if you were set up essentially to deal with malfeasance, it would be wrong to find you wanting to the point where you are becoming the object of investigation. That must be said. But without belaboring the issue, it is that if there are financial crimes clearly identified, not just in DSS or SSS, but in any agency or public place in Nigeria, even with individuals, it automatically invokes the powers of the EFCC, being a purely... If there are security issues bordering on the security of the nation, the DSS by law becomes the legitimate agency of government to be able to do that, irrespective of whoever is involved. But where there are crises and conflicting issues affecting all of this, the presidency must rise to the occasion and deal with those issues once and for all.
All right,
because I don't see any reason why those who obstructed the arrest of a Nigerian should not be taken on.
Thank you very much indeed. Malaki Gumadu is a legal practitioner.